My 33F husband, 36 meters, doesn't seem to get why I'm touched out. My 33F husband, 36 meters, just doesn't seem to understand or even acknowledged that I very easily become overwhelmed when I have to continue to deal with the needs of everyone else. We have a 6-year-old girl who is just delightful, but from 5:30 am to 7:30 p.m. she does not stop talking. She only talks to me, not really to him. Constant chatter makes me feel like my head is in a vice. He works away 3 weeks of the month, has 1 week off, and in that time off schedules a fishing trip away with the boys. I'm home with our daughter, I work full-time shift work and coordinate the care for her, do the school runs, bedtime routine, the cleaning, cooking and whatever else is needed. What I would do to trade lives. She's utterly exhausting. Kids naturally talk a lot, but she exceeds what is normal. He doesn't stop, ever. Because of this he will just talk over the top of her to talk. Both of them need to shut up or talk to each other tbh, because I'm sick of it. I'm at breaking point. He doesn't try divert her conversations to him. She doesn't know what it means to be quiet. He can't wait until she's quiet to speak, then he gets shitty that I'm curt with him. The only rest I have in my life is work and the drive to work. Every other minute of every day is just constant juggling and demands. I'm not coping anymore. My work is what I need. I dread home because it's utterly exhausting. It never ends. God, I sound like a horrible mother. I love her, but I need out. I need him to step up on his week off. I know he works hard and his week off is his weekend, but I don't get that. Whether he is home or away, I'm doing this on my own. I have done his job pre-children and I would trade spots tomorrow. He is cooked for at work, his clothes are laundered, his room is cleaned daily. Whenever I try and explain to him how I feel, he assumes it means I don't love our daughter and asks if he should just take her and they live together. He doesn't seem to understand that I'm not coping anymore, but I am trying my best. That I need him to take on more of a role with her, so on his week off I get my time too. Even just not doing the bedtime routine, just being able to lay down is a blessing for me. He sees himself, and culturally men are the breadwinners. He often refers to how he does everything for our family and works so hard, but the reality is that I am the breadwinner. His income is play money for us. But whilst him winning the bread for this family, I'm also doing everything else for us too, and it's just not sustainable. I don't know how I can tell him I want to be a mum. I love our daughter so much, but I need him to be more active with her and pull her towards him so I can get a break somewhere in my life. Thanks for reading this far if you've made it. TLDR, my husband thinks that if I talk about how our situation isn't working, it means I don't love my child and don't want to be a mum anymore. You two need couples therapy, but you also need to make it clear that she only talks to you because she doesn't know him and he needs to spend time with her alone. So don't feel badly if when he's home, you leave for a few hours. Do some things you want to do. If he's keeping up this job where he travels, also employ a babysitter. Make sure you are making time for yourself on your weekends or evenings too, whether or not he's at home. I was your daughter when I was a kid. She can and should learn when and how to be quiet, wait for others to speak, and have a quiet time every single day where she is alone in her room doing a quiet activity for an hour. She needs to learn this as a life skill and before she's in school full time. Her dad is teaching her it's okay to interrupt and talk over others. She has learned that you are the only one who cares about what she has to say and daddy doesn't. What your husband is doing is unfair to her and to you. You need to insist that he starts alternating his trips away with the boys and with her. Daddy-daughter time is extremely important. He's failing her and you. You also need to insist that he takes care of the home when he is off work and that you get a break. He needs to be home alone with the kids and the whole chore lost so he can appreciate what you do every day. I think you should start insisting that your husband spend alone time with your daughter. This would give you a break and a chance for her to bond with him. It sounds like he might be away so much that she doesn't feel as close to him. I would recommend you leave the house completely or have them leave the house so they truly have time alone. This would also be rejuvenating time for you and maybe help your husband better understand how a 6-year-old is tiring. I would also talk to him about how if he gets time away from the family, you'd like that too. If he gets his weekend to relax, then you'd like a weekend off as well. Everyone needs breaks and time for themselves. It also sounds like you're on your own with your daughter for a large portion of the month. If so, I would recommend doing whatever you can to lighten your load. I know things are hard with COVID right now, but consider hiring someone to clean the house, order food, and get your daughter in after-school programs. In terms of your daughter, it's hard to tell from the post if this is a new habit, and may be related to pandemic stress, or if she's always been like this. But I think it's fine to express your needs to her and let her know that you need quiet time. Having her play by herself sometimes seems like a necessary goal. If she likes talking so much, maybe she would like stuffed animals or dolls that she can pretend to talk to/be. You can't be her only outlet. I'm sorry that you're going through this. I can tell from your post that you're overwhelmed and need something to change. I think what you're asking for is reasonable and achievable. Don't let anyone make you feel like a bad mother because you have needs as a person too. He often refers to how he does everything for our family and works so hard, but the reality is that I am the breadwinner. You need to disavow him of this delusional worldview pretty quickly. So when you ask for help, he's blowing it out of proportion, like you want him to leave, or that you don't live your kid. Yeah, that's shitty and you both need therapy. But I'm confused why your 6 years old can't learn about quiet time, or to play on her own for a bit to give you a break. She's 6, she can learn these things. This incessant chatting will not fly in school when she's eventually there. My partner, F21, told her friend, F20, that she could stay at our house until she found a new place, but she's gotten too comfortable and I don't know how to tell her without ruining their friendship. My partner has a friend who went through a pretty bad breakup 3 weeks ago and had no place to stay. We told her she could stay with us until she could find her own place, or at the latest until she moved to uni. Roughly 5 months left. The issue is that we also asked for money from her to cover the increase in utility bills, water, heating, etc., and now she's under the impression that she's a permanent resident. We let her stay in the living room and agreed to buy her a sofa bed. She's completely rearranged the room and will now ask why we have to watch TV and sit in her room. I didn't like this but didn't really mention it. Me M22 and my partner just started to spend less time in the living room. One day while we were cooking, she told us that one of her siblings, M25, was in a similar position to her and asked if it was okay for him to come over on her birthday. We agreed to this. 2 days later she told us he's coming over for a few days. I'm worried that the few days is going to turn into a few weeks, then a few months, and we'll have 2 people living with us. How can I tell her that I think she's out of line without ruining my partner and hers friendship? Am I even in the right here? Since she does contribute financially in some ways, I expected her to stay for a few months, find a place, then move out. But she seems very content with living in our home even after she starts uni. Too long didn't read. Partner's friend is getting too comfortable living with us, but I'm not sure what to do since they contribute financially. So where are you at with finding your own place? What's your plan for getting your own place? How much longer do you think you'll need to stay here? All are viable options. As far as contributing financially, this is expected baseline for any extended length stay. She's not on a lease and that can lead to problems with your landlord. Or if you own, it's your space with your SO. A roommate without boundaries wasn't perfect of that arrangement. Talk to your SO and say that you plan to broach this subject as it is making you uncomfortable. She's contributing financially as any long-term guest should, but she's not paying rent, which still puts her firmly in the category of guest. So start asserting yourself. She's completely rearranged the room and will now ask why we have to watch TV and sit in her room. Laura, this is not your room, this is our room. 2 days later she told us he's coming over for a few days. No, Laura, it is not okay with us if your sibling comes over for a few days. This is our house, and we did not agree to any other guests, or even just. Laura, you staying in our house is no longer working out. You need to arrange new accommodation for yourself by the end of next week. And if she causes a fuss, say alright, we now need you in new accommodation by the end of tomorrow. You already know what to do, mate. Pull the band-aid off. You and your so need to have a conversation about boundaries and expectations with her. If she agrees and complies, great. If not, then you did what you had to do for yourself, your so, and your relationship with your so. Step 1, get on the same page as your so. You need to both decide and be in agreement about a move-out date. Is it appropriate to be sitting with a source of income for the leaving friend, helping her look for jobs, helping her with her CV, ask what sort of job she would be interested in, part-time because of uni? Decide who's going to spearhead the suggestion that maybe she needs help to find another place. If your girlfriend is agreeable and not wanting to rock the boat, it's going to be you. If the leech sees this as an affront, it might cost you the friendship, although I'd argue that a friend would understand they're overstaying their welcome. Step 2, have a casual conversation with the leech when you're all present. After food before alcohol on a weekend is a good time because needs are met. Present what you've decided casually and matter-of-factly in a tactical way. That means you want to frame the conversation: we want to help you get back on your feet. No need to be super firm this early on if you haven't had the conversation. It might come as a shock to her, ESP if in her mind she's a resident. Treating it more like a negotiation about when she's going to be leaving as opposed to a flat time to leave. You and so, have been talking about the support we've been giving you, and it was always supposed to be for X time. Since X time is only X months away, we were wondering if you needed help looking for another place or finding a job. I'm suggesting you go the extra mile to help her find places and move out because of your tight friendships together. It's best to frame this as we want to see you succeed as opposed to we got tired of you so we kicked you out. Does your partner also feel this way about her? Cause that would make it a lot easier, lol. But if I were you, I would just be honest and tell her it's time to leave and give her 2 weeks to find a place because she's had plenty of time. If she values her friendship with your partner, she should have no issues with this, as you've already been generous enough to her. If she flips, then you know that you dodged a bullet with her because a true friend wouldn't overreact. My partner feels the same way but is scared to talk about it since we share a very tight circle of friends. The person who is staying with us can be very manipulative and would probably make me and my partner seem like the bad people. I've dropped enough hints. I'm ready to get married. Throwaway account just in case. My boyfriend, 31M, and I, 27F, have been together over 2 years. We're crazy about each other and complement one another so well. Lately I've been dropping major hints that I'm ready to get married. Tonight I outright said it. The conversation was about weddings. My BF then said, "What, are you not happy I haven't proposed yet?" To which I said I'm honestly ready for it. BF didn't say anything afterward. The TV was on, and the conversation just ended. We've had multiple conversations about marriage, kids, etc. I'm at his house way more than I'm at my own. He hasn't given any reason as to why he's not ready to get married. Yes, I'm aware there's a panorama going on. We do something socially distant, maybe just even go to the courthouse. I'm now coming to you, Reddit. Any advice or insight is greatly appreciated. Too long didn't read. I'm ready to get married. My boyfriend doesn't seem to be ready. LS help. There doesn't seem to be enough info to really know where he's at, but if he wants it to be a surprise, he probably won't say too much right now. I'm not saying that's what's going on, but it is something to consider.